Yo, it's Friday. I'm here at 11 o'clock in the morning, which is unusual for me, but I got a very special guest, an old friend of mine from the Roundhouse days, still a buddy of mine, all the way from, I don't know which country he's in right now because the dude's always moving. Leo, what's going on, brother?
Hey, brother, I'm in Austria.
Yeah, last time I talked to you, you were maybe back in France, but before that, you were in Ireland, so...
Indeed.
The man is on the move. So what have you been up to, man?
I had to go back, COVID and stuff, but yeah, that's life. That's all right.
Well, it's good to
nice.
Yeah. Are you keeping up with the world of mixed martial arts, bare knuckle boxing, regular boxing? Are you sticking around? What are you doing?
Mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Boxing, bare knuckle, that makes a lot for me.
Yeah.
Already try to keep up with every event, and that's a lot of work.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear from you. Good to see you. You look good. You sound good. Your sound's good.
Me too.
And what time is it over there in Austria right now?
It's actually 5 in the afternoon.
5 in the afternoon. Got any big plans for your Friday night?
Not tonight, but tomorrow. Yeah, we have a little stuff. Yeah, little stuff going on.
Yeah,
I got
just drinking my coffee here. Coffee makes me
That's
poop.
my. I shouldn't drink that.
Yeah, you're over there drinking already, and I'm drinking coffee.
So, yeah, it's fine. So I have a little beer.
Yeah, attaboy, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Before we get into some MMA talk here, I just got to shout out my sponsors real quick. I got Holden Hands Massage. They are the best in the business. You go see Jackie Holden at holdenhandsmassage.com if you're a veteran, massagetherapix.com if you are a non-veteran. She'll hook you up. She'll take care of your pain. And, of course, the Killfoot Clothing guys. Those guys make badass clothes. They made this here. Shablam. They made the very first Mission Accomplished T-shirt. So they're sold out right now. The big order's in. They're coming. Anybody who wants a shirt, hit me up in the instant messenger or DM me on Instagram, and we'll figure all that out. So, Leo, we got a big UFC fight this weekend, and it's got to be a guy like. Oh, I have an echo. Can you turn your stuff down a little bit?
My stuff? I don't have my sounds, you mean?
You sound good. All right, I hear myself.
All right?
No, you're all right. So listen. Cyril Gunn versus Jardino Rozenstruck. What do you hear? What do you say on this one? Both huge monster of men.
I mean, the card itself is nice. It's underrated, but it's nice. It's a lot of people will be like, yeah, Manyfield is gone, so yeah, the card is gone because most of the content, a lot of people. But there is huge names in it. Of course, the main event, Jardino Rozenstruik versus Cyril Gane. First of all, on this one, I would say that I got Gane, naturally, because I think he's more sound technically. And it's not an insult to Jardino, of course. But I think Gane, he's a way better kickboxer. I think that he can out-grapple him. He's really strong on the clinch. He got these really nice body kicks. And I think that all that together, that's going to help him get the W. Of course, in front, you have a guy that can end the show in one punch, technically.
Of course. Now, for those who are not familiar with Cyril Gane, he is a 6'6", 260-pound monster of a human being, dude. That guy, and like you said, his grappling is strong, his jiu-jitsu is strong, you said, the kicks to the body are devastating when he lands them. So he could end Rosenstruck on the ground, on the feet, but also you can't forget that Rosenstruck has that one punch and your evening power. And he demonstrated it against Alistair Overeem. And he was losing that entire fight. So that guy is never out of a fight. And he was losing that entire fight against Overeem. And he landed that punch with 5 seconds left in the last round and blew his face up. And you can't count that guy out either. But I am with you, though. I'm going with Cyril Gane.
It reminded me a bit Derek Lewis in a way with Alexander Volkov. but kind of last second punch, like coming from nowhere.
Yeah. You never know. With a guy like him, just like you just said, like Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis against Curtis Blades last week, he landed 6 punches. 6 total punches.
We talked about the last one, but the first one really wobbled him.
Right. The first, the little uppercut, and then those last 2.
In the show.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like you said, Rozenstruik has that same kind of power. I actually have the card. I could pull it up. It might cut our face off a little. There we go. We just moved it aside a little bit. You got you got Nikita Krylov versus Magomed Ankalaev. Ankalaev is coming off. Yeah, that dude, Pedro Munoz and Jimmy Rivera. That's a hell of a fight. I love Angela Hill. Everyone loves Angela Hill. Angela Hill is fighting Ashley Yoder. That's a good fight too. I mean, that's a really good fight night card right there.
I love Alex Caceres return.
Yeah, Bruce Leroy.
Oh my! He got the same kind of resurgence in a smaller fashion than Alex Oliveira.
Yeah.
Not Alex Oliveira. Sorry.
Because Cowboy Oliveira, he's on that card, right? He's on the undercard, isn't he?
Yeah. He had some bad times, some good times as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar, but I think Bruce Leroy is in really good shape. Kevin Krum is coming off a disqualification loss due to or not loss, but disqualification match due to marijuana consumption, something really stupid again.
Yeah.
But he's a banger. And after we have Alex Hernandez and Thiago Moises, which is a great.
Oh yeah, dude, Alex Hernandez was like the next big thing too coming up, and I think it was Was it Cowboy Cerrone that ended that hype train?
Yeah, and that was nice to see. I have to see him say, because he was a bitch. Like,
yeah, it was. It's a really good card. So let's go right down the card. Let's play. Let's pick them. Okay. We both said Cyril Gunn in the co-main event. Nikita Krylov versus Magomed Ankalaev. Who do you got?
I have to go with Ankalaev after the last fight against Kutelaba. Like, that was just like he just dominated a guy that I thought that was so tough.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. On the one after the one before that, Montana De La Rosa versus Bueno Silva. I'm going with Bueno Silva personally. That could go either way.
Yeah, that's this kind of fight. It's two girls that are there since quite a bit. At least they had both a lot of fights in the UFC and both like lots of decisions. Right. Like 50-50 losses win, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah. If I'm going to base my my pick on looks alone, I'm going to take Montana because she looks better. But unfortunately, it's not a beauty contest. So
I thought you meant physically, like the strength.
No, I was just being an asshole at that point. Before that, you got Pedro Munoz and Jimmy Rivera. Jimmy Rivera, he was kind of like fading away at one point, but he's kind of resurging back himself. And then Pedro Munoz, his last fight was who? I am not remembering.
Last Pedro Munoz fight was the Tapology there. The fans of Tapology say that Rivera is favorite. It was a split decision with Frankie
Edgar, that's right. So, man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to call. Jimmy Rivera's got.
It was a main event.
Right. Wow. I don't even know who I would pick in that. I was leaning Pedro Munoz, but if Frankie Edgar took him to a split decision, and Frankie Edgar is about on his last leg right now. I love Frankie. But
I mean, it's you can't really judge him too hard neither, because he fell on an absolute monster. Like,
yeah,
that was unfortunate. I think he might have been in a good shape. We can't know in 30 seconds. That's too short. But to be fair, Rivera is coming out of a unanimous decision of Cody Stamann.
Cody Stamen,
So
yeah.
that's a good point. That's a good win.
It is a good win. I think Jimmy Rivera, after that fight, he looked great, and I felt in Jimmy Rivera's last performance that he was like looking like he's going to make his way back up the rankings again, because you remember Jimmy Rivera was always in the top 2, 3, 4 of the division for a long time, and then he started sliding. And after I specifically remember being impressed by how he looked the last time he fought. So I'm going Jimmy Rivera on that one.
I have two as well. I think he seems stronger to me, and he had a more dominant victory last time against allegedly more stronger opponents, at least younger.
Yeah. So Pedro Munoz coming off a Frankie Edgar win might take a L according to Kyle and Leo. My girl, one of my favorite female fighters. I'm going to be 100% biased on this one. I'm not picking against Angela Hill. I don't give a shit. She's awesome. She's one of my favorite.
It's not bias. I think it's fair to say that she's a straight favorite.
Yeah, and she's better than ever. She's been around for so long. She's fought so long for the company, and she always kind of like was good, but just not the best, right? And it seemed like in the last year, I think she got burned on 2 decisions last year. The one against Claudia Gadelia and the one against Michelle Watterson. Really I think she should have went 4-0 in 2020 during a pandemic. She should have went 4-0. She got robbed on 2 fights, and she was supposed to fight a 5th time in December, and she caught COVID. The girl was the most active fighter on the roster. Her striking is better than ever. Her cardio is nonstop. The girl is a fucking Energizer bunny in the ring and in the cage. After watching her perform in 2020, I can't imagine she goes down from there. She continues to grow as a fighter, and I think 2021 is the best Angela Hill that you're going to see so far. This starts her campaign.
Okay, just 2 points about this fight. I think Angela Hill got one of the best takedown defense in the division.
Mm-hmm.
So she maybe doesn't have the best ground technique, but the best takedown defense, or at least it's one of the top 3. If you look at her striking against Yoder, that seems pretty obvious that she's gonna melt her. Yoder have like 35% accuracy of striking. It's really weak, and I mean, in all respects, compared to Angela, which is a really tactical and precise striker. That's something totally 2 worlds apart. So I think TKO for Angela, I go.
TKO? I think so too. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it will be a TKO. She might just work her for 3 rounds and take the decision unanimous easy. But I see nothing but a Angela Hill win there. And we'll do the Alex Caceres one because I want to talk about UFC 259 with you. Alex Caceres, Kevin Kroom, who you got in that one?
I got Alex. It's a banger, and it's closer fights, but I think Alex Caceres, because I think he got a great striking. He always had. He always have been incredibly talented, and he's better than ever, more focused, and he looked in a very, very, very amazing shape.
How old is Alex? How old is Alex Caceres? He's got to be like mid-30s,
early 30s, maybe 32.
32. Man, he's another one that seems like he's been around for freaking ever, and he's only 32 years old. Isn't that crazy? It's so crazy. It's like, dude, I'm 39 years old, right? I feel like I have been watching Robbie Lawler for forever, and I think I'm a year older than the guy. Isn't that weird? It's like when I saw that, I was just like, I'm older than Robbie Lawler. What the hell is going on here? I feel like he's one of my idols, but I don't know, man. It's so funny how sports are like
Alex
that.
Caceres went maybe a bit too early in the UFC. I don't know if we can say that, but he went a tiny bit early. Was 21, 22. He lost because of his inexperience, but he's so talented. And
Dude,
that's great to see him doing good.
He is. He's on a 3-fight win streak right now. This guy has been fighting in the UFC since 2011. 10 years. 10 years. Wow. That is so crazy. It just blows my mind. Mike Hunold in the comments. What's up, you dinks? What's up, Mike? Yeah,
Mike.
Me and Mike did a show last night. It was pretty awesome. We did the Mike and Miss show last night. And
I saw that.
we had Christine Faria on. She talked some shit. We did some fantasy matchmaking for bare knuckle.
Oh,
we're gonna get those guys to hire us because they need a little help on the promotion side of things, and we'll get that information out if they want somebody to get that information out. They just aren't doing it right now.
Okay, just one fight I wanted maybe to talk, or maybe the two last. Alex Hernandez versus Thiago Moises.
Yeah.
I got Hernandez for this one. I think
Hernandez.
Moises is really well-rounded. People tend to think, this guy is a jiu-jitsu dude. He submitted Michael Johnson. I think he's a great striker as well. That might be an interesting one. Doesn't have the one-punch knockout of Hernandez, though. That's something.
But, you said he submitted Michael Johnson, but who hasn't?
You're being mean now.
yeah, no offense, Michael Johnson. I'm just saying, man. It's like Michael Johnson is a prime contender to move on from the UFC, and I think that he would be great with the gloves off over in bare knuckle.
He started as a wrestler.
Yeah, well, he's a good boxer, dude. He's got good hands, great hands.
I mean, he rocked Khabib. He's maybe the only one to have done that.
Yeah, that's true. He did. Him and Gleison Tebow are like the only two to ever land anything on Khabib, right?
Yeah. That's probably. I mean, Tebow is more like it's a dull fight, anyways. But the Johnson Rock is pretty big.
Yeah, Mike's in the comments. He says maybe BKFC for Michael Johnson. I think he agrees with me on that one.
Yeah, BKFC or Bellator. Who knows?
Yeah. My cousin's there. Hit me up and message me. I'll get you a shirt.
Just one thing before we'll pass on the Alex Oliveira fight, but the first fight of the prelim is super interesting. Dustin Jacoby versus Maxim Grishin. Have you checked into this one?
I have not. Educate me on this.
Dustin Jacoby was in the UFC. He did a run in 2011. He had 2 fights. And he lost one to Chris Camozzi. Must remind you some stuff.
Yeah,
old school days.
Chris Camozzi's in the PFL season this year too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Light heavyweight.
And he's facing probably one of my favorite light heavyweight fighter, Maxim Grishin. Maximus. I love this dude. He faced Marcin Tybura, a heavyweight. He was weighing 225 pounds. That's insane. It's UFC 1 type of shit.
Yeah, that is great. yeah, it is. Yeah.
And he's a big light heavyweight. He's probably one of the biggest on the card, the roster at the moment.
When you look at it, so you're taking Maxim Grishin on in this one?
Yeah, on this one, definitely. Even if Jacoby looks really good and he got a great kickboxing, even a bit awkward, but Grishin is so dominant physically.
Now, for the people out there that are going to put some money on a fight here, which one would you say is like the most easy pick on this card?
The easier pick?
Is it Angela Hill? Is Angela Hill like the easiest?
There is Angela Hill. There is I don't want to say on Kalaev, but it seems like it might be. And otherwise, I go for my boy Grishin. Yeah,
okay. That's where I was going with. Were you going to say like the opening prelim fight might be the easiest pick on the card?
It's if you want to.
Well, when I get off
Maximus.
this, I'm going to build a DraftKings lineup with a few of these guys.
Yeah. That's a good idea, man.
Now, dude.
Okay.
What is it?
Big part. 259.
Is it 2 weeks from this weekend?
I think so. Yeah. 2 weeks.
Absolutely stacked. People, look at this card. I'm going to pull this. Take a look at this.
I'm just going to say it like that. a card where you have Dominic Cruz in the prelims.
You got Dominic Cruz, you got Joseph Benavidez, you got Kai Kara France, you got those guys are all in the prelims.
Tim Elliott.
Tim Elliott, dude, Jake Matthews is no joke. It's like and yeah, Casey Kenny. You got Benavidez versus Askarov on the prelims. You got freaking Dominic Cruz fighting Casey Kenny on the prelims. That card is too stacked. I don't know what the UFC was going for on this. It said Mike says it's next weekend. It is next weekend. Okay.
Yeah, it's next weekend. Yeah.
Oh man, look at that! Jan Blachowicz versus Israel Adesanya in the main event. Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson in the co-main. Peter Yan versus Aljo Sterling in the co-main. 3 title fights.
Islam Makhachev versus Budova. That's the main event itself.
Yeah, dude. Even Thiago Santos versus Redick is another banger, dude. Unbelievable.
The Austrian wonder.
I just is this one of the most stacked cards you've seen? Like, this is one of the best cards they've ever put together. I think, top to bottom.
10 years we haven't seen that. Maybe a long time ago when there was Brock Lesnar or something like that.
What do you think their reasoning to build a card like this? Like, they could have easily took those 3 title fights, or maybe they could have put Amanda Nunes and Megan Anderson in the Jan Sterling fight on 2 title fights on 1 pay-per-view to sell a pay-per-view, and then Jan versus Izzy on their own.
I think the main reason is cocaine.
Cocaine.
Because when you look at UFC 260, there is 2 belts on the line as well.
Oh my God, man!
There is Ngannou and Volkanovski Ortega. And there is Tyrone Woodley.
Dude, 5 title fights in 2 pay-per-views. That's just bananas.
I don't know. Do you think UFC is having problem with money?
I don't know. I don't know, man. They must be hurting or something. They must be really begging for a 2 million pay-per-view sale here. I don't know. I just don't understand it, but I absolutely love it. Look at this shit, man. Unbelievable.
That's heaven.
So where do you see the main event going with this one? Israel Adesanya looking big and strong in his training videos and his pictures. He looks big. He looks strong. But Jan Blachowicz looks like he's cutting down and maybe building up some speed and stamina to move with Izzy. So this is very interesting.
Training videos, but I mean that doesn't say much, does it?
Yeah, I know.
Training videos.
Dude, anybody could go lift some weights at a gym, spritz themselves down like the one of Israel on a bench, like shiny with all his muscles showing. Like, that's some doctored up bullshit, and they just squirted him down with some water right before they took the picture to make him look
olive oil.
Yeah, like old school WWF wrestling. They oiled him up right before the picture.
But that's a hard pick. I don't know what. I mean, my heart says, and my part of my brain says easy because, like, the dude is so technical. But I mean, Blachowicz is underrated. Like still today, like I think, like, his striking is on point, and he got so much power behind it. People told me that Izzy fought big guys. Yeah, sure, but not in MMA.
Right, and Israel. I mean, Jan's power is another level. It's a level above Adesanya. Adesanya can obviously take a shot. We saw it in the Gastelum fight. He's got a chin, and he could take some shots. But can he take shots from this guy? Not
the Polish boy. He can't take it. If he takes it flush, I think it's night.
Yeah, it's now.
I'm worried about this fight.
Here's the thing, dude. The UFC is planning a lot of things off of that fight alone, I think. Jan Blachowicz could cancel a lot of plans.
And he wants to. We don't talk neither of the body kicks, but I think one good body kick of Blachowicz can change the game, change the issue of the fight.
Yeah. So who do you think wins? Who do you think wins?
I will go for Adesanya. That's a 40-60 for me.
Yeah, we're sitting here talking about how strong and powerful Jan Blachowicz is this whole time, and how devastating his power and his kicks are. Who do you think is going to win? Adesanya.
Yeah, because Paulo Costa.
Yeah.
Everyone says the same about Paulo Costa, but Paulo Costa is not a light heavyweight. And to be fair, it's not a change I like to see. I don't like seeing fighter going from middleweight to light heavyweight, neither from light heavyweight to heavyweight. I think it's generally too just look at Rockhold.
Yeah.
And he's a big guy.
Yeah, it didn't work out for him.
But he doesn't have a chin, can we say that?
and dude, am I wrong here? Did Blachowicz beat Anthony Smith, Rockhold, and not Thiago Santos, right?
I can't remember for Santos.
But check. I want to check something right quick because
his last fight.
But I'm saying
Corey Anderson, first round knockout. Dominic Reyes, Souza, Rockhold. That was the 4 last. And Santos he lost.
Okay. No. So he beat Rockhold, who was a middleweight. Jacare, who was a middleweight. Corey Anderson, who was a middleweight. He lost to Thiago Santos, who was a middleweight that came up. Jan Blachowicz is 3-1 against middleweights coming up to light heavyweight. That's a. I mean, I don't know, man. He has a good run against middleweights moving up. That could be bad. Could be bad news for Israel.
That's true, and does it mean that he might have difficulties against true light heavyweights? Oh, yeah. That's too much of a...
Man, we're getting deep with that one.
Yeah, but I still go easy because I mean I want to believe in the hype, and it's not even a hype at this level, but I want to believe he's the new Silva.
He is, and I actually had a debate with somebody about this, and they were like, he's too small to go up to light heavyweight. Guys who move up to light heavyweight do not have success. And I said, Israel Adesanya is Anderson Silva 2.0. Who's the one guy that always had success when he left middleweight and went up to light heavyweight, except for when he fought DC? It was Anderson Silva. He would go up there, win, go back down to middleweight. Go back up there, win, come back down to middleweight. He took the freaking DC fight on 2 days' notice and went the distance with Daniel Cormier.
Man, that's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. But that's still a stressful matchup because Blachowicz is not DC.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I'm saying that it's been done before. And the guy that is most comparable to Israel Adesanya in the past is Anderson Silva. When you look at if you want to compare somebody from a different generation to Israel Adesanya, it's going to be Anderson Silva. And Anderson Silva was the one guy, or one of the few, who had great success when he went up to light heavyweight and then back down. So Israel could do the same thing. I'm with you. I'm picking Israel Adesanya. Let's move to the co-main event real quick. I don't think we have to deep dive too far into this one. What chance do you give Megan Anderson against Amanda Nunes? Are you frozen? Leo. I think Leo might have froze up. He did. He froze up. Let me get this thing off my face. He's going to come back on in a second. Who knows about that Austrian internet? You know what I mean? It is the World Wide Web. I think he should be fine. But he'll be back on in a second. You got the Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson co-main event for the women's featherweight title, which here comes Leo. Let's bring him back up. Leo.
Say, brother.
Hey, so it's okay, man.
Okay, to explain you, I'm in the countryside, so
I know. That's what I said. I don't know how the internet is over where you're at right now. I know you had some tough internet before.
I wish I could show you the router, but it looks like antique. It comes from the 90s. But It works a lot.
Right before you disappeared, I was going to ask you what kind of chance you give Megan Anderson against Amanda Nunes for the featherweight title. Go ahead and tell me what you think about
For
this
Anderson, I love Megan Anderson. I love her style. I think it's different from anything that Nunes faced already, if I can say that. But I think it is. I think it's she's longer. She's a girl that finishes fights. I know that Germaine de Randamie can enter this category, but I think Megan is way more technical on the ground and way more offensive.
I really like Megan Anderson's striking. I like her knees and her kicks. Like she uses the length in her legs. She has like a strength that like the length she has in her legs is obviously an advantage, and she knows how to use it, which is nice. So I wonder if she could land a kick, from long distance on maybe a front kick or something, and go to the body or something like that on. Because when and I will say that Amanda Nunes, always comes in great shape, but she does look, I don't want to be an asshole here, but she looks a little softer at 145 pounds. She's not as fucking ripped. So I wonder if
because she's training a lot as well.
Right. So I wonder if Megan Anderson can pull something off with some body kicks and some knees and whatnot, clinch up and throw the knees. But Amanda Nunes, on the other hand, is, strong like bull. You know what I mean?
I'm going to just say something on that fight. Exactly the same thing I said last time we had a convo on live. Amanda Nunes' chin is deteriorating. We saw that against de Randamie. Is it an effect of the weight cut? Probably part of. But I think she's taking a lot of shots in her career. Some big ones, and I think Megan got the power and the technicity to be able. I see a knee that's going to drop her or something like that, a knee on the chin, because she can do that. She got like such long legs that she can easily put a knee on her chin and drop her, maybe strangle her or something like that, do a guillotine choke, and that's interesting. I love Megan's chances on this one. And,
you give her more than a 50-50. You give her a 50-50 shot.
I give at least a 50-50, maybe a 60-40.
60-40 for Amanda?
Megan.
Oh, okay. Wow. I like this. I like this, Leo. I like it, man. I'm gonna stick with the champ on that one. But I do love Megan Anderson, and I would love to see that title change hands for the sake of the division and for the sake of the landscape of female MMA in the UFC, because me and Hunnell had this conversation last week, the state of women's MMA in the UFC. Like literally, if Valentina Shevchenko could cut 10 more pounds, she could go win the 115-pound belt. And then Amanda Nunes beats Megan Anderson. They could literally have two girls holding 4 belts. It's just sad to say, but those two girls are so goddamn good. They're in a league of their own. And I hope Megan Anderson could pull off a miracle here. Not a miracle, but like pull up an upset.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a miracle, I think. But that's maybe because I have another opinion of Megan. I don't know. Maybe it's possible. I might be full on this one. But as for comparison between Shevchenko and Nunes, I'd say that Shevchenko is a step higher anyway in dominance. I don't see how failing.
I have felt that way since their rematch. When they rematched, and I could not believe they gave the decision to Amanda Nunes in that fight. To this day, I've watched that fight 3-4 times. I cannot, for the life of me, fathom how the judges gave that fight to Amanda Nunes. Valentina Shevchenko beat her in that fight. And in their first fight, in the third round of their first fight, Valentina was whooping up on Nunes again. So Nunes took the first 2 rounds of their first fight. That third round of that first fight, Valentina was starting to roll. And if that was a 5-round fight, Valentina might have finished her in the 4th or 5th round. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm with you. I think Valentina Shevchenko is the best female fighter on the planet, personally.
That's nice to hear. But yeah, I still give the chances for Megan for this one.
Now there is a third title fight. Peter Yan, do I say that right? Peter
Yan. Peter
Yan and Aljamain Sterling. And I gotta tell you, man, I like Aljo. And he's a kind of a local guy to me. Not really. He's New York, he's Long Island, and I'm Connecticut. So we're 2 hours apart from each other. So I met him at the TD Garden up in Boston at one of the UFC events. Super cool dude. He took the time to shoot the shit with me and Mike and took a picture with us and stuff. He was very cool. I've been following him for years, and I really, really feel like this is Aljo's time. I think this is the title most likely to change hands out of the three.
Yes, at least for me, it's the closest fight. I mean, we're talking about a guy who submitted Corey Sandhagen. I'm just putting that there.
Yeah.
Extraordinary performance, I have to say. Peter Yan is, I don't want to say more physically stronger than Sandhagen in a way, so it's not the same fight. We can't take it the same way. That's a hard fight. I love Peter Yan. I just love his style. The way he was so dominant all of his last fights.
And Aljo's on a 5-fight win streak. I know that I think Peter Yan is he, I don't know. Is he undefeated? I don't know. I know he hasn't lost in a really long time. That's I know that.
Yeah, that was in Russia, no?
Yeah,
Magomedov. Split decision.
Okay. Yeah. But Aljamain Sterling, I remember his last loss, and that was to Marlon Moraes, another guy I really like too. But Aljo said that loss taught him like a life lesson to live with to be able to accept defeat and move on from it. And he said he's been better than ever since. And since then, he's on a 5-fight win streak. And like you said, he murked freaking Corey Sandhagen, which people don't do. And
what do you think about the thing he said that he can stop 100 takedowns if I get one? That will be the one that's going to end it.
Aljo said that?
Mm.
I believe it. He trains with some of the best in the world on the ground, man. He's got Matt Serra and Renzo Gracie teaching him. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if he has his black belt yet. I'm sure he does. If he's a black belt under Renzo and Matt Serra, if it goes to the ground, Jan's fucked.
But Matt Serra's black belt is one of the hardest to get, I heard.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the shit.
Yeah. So. Right,
he's
man.
The guy that GSP.
With a knockout, though, which is funny.
With a knockout. What?
Yeah,
I love MMA.
Yeah, you gotta love it, man. Now, before we wrap things up, I got to talk to you. Oh, we already kind of talked about Valentina Shevchenko. Let's talk about that real quick. Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. Do you see Jessica Andrade giving her a run, or no?
I mean, a run, maybe one round, maybe half a round, maybe 2 minutes.
You got to think about, dude, Jessica Andrade was getting pieced up by Rose Namajunas in both of her fights. And me and Mike had this conversation the other day at work. When Jessica Andrade slammed Rose, that was a Hail Mary for her because she was getting tagged up that whole fight and got her in. And she's not going to be able to do that to Valentina Shevchenko.
Oh no!
No!
Take him down.
and as great as a striker as Rose Namajunas is, she is a couple levels below Valentina Shevchenko. So I think Jessica Andrade could be in some trouble.
Not on the fist, I think. I think Rose is a tiny bit
better boxer.
Better boxer, tiny bit. But Valentina is just such a great kickboxer. She uses great kicks, body kicks, spinning back kicks to the body, tiring the opponent, beating up the legs. I mean, it's a gunner.
The kick to Jessica I might be the best kick ever. Like, you know, if people were like, what is your favorite head kick in female MMA history? A lot of people will say Holly Holm, Ronda Rousey.
That's the heart.
You know, everyone will say that, or or some people might say Amanda Nunes kicking Holly Holm was another
Holly
really
Holm,
good.
yeah.
But nothing is better than Valentina Shevchenko kicking Jessica I into Jesus pose. Like when she kicked her soul left her body, her feet crossed, and her arms went out, and she laid. She went straight to the pearly gates, man. I was down in Mexico with a bunch of people at a bar, and I said that out loud, and like everybody around me laughed. I was like, "Holy shit!" She kicked her in the Jesus pose.
Man, that's some deteriorating type kind of shit.
Oh man, I don't think Jessica I's ever been the same. So I would say Jessica Andrade has a 20% chance of winning that fight. I think it's 80-20 Valentina. It'll be a massive favorite on the betting cards for sure.
That's fair, and I think that's generous. No, I don't want to be mean. No, 20% is the puncher's chance, so I give her that. Yeah, she got strength. That's to her. But
one of my favorite things about Valentina, and Valentina after she fought Amanda Nunes the second time. Do you remember when they were interviewing? When Joe Rogan was interviewing Amanda Nunes, she stood with her arms crossed. Valentina stood with her arms crossed up against the cage with her foot up with this pissed off look on her face. And Rogan finished with Amanda Nunes and walks over to Valentina. And Valentina goes, "How do I lose this fight? Look at her face. Look at my face. I have no blood. She is blood. Only blood on me, on my foot from kicking her." I was like, fuck yeah, man. The only blood on her whole body was on like her shin from kicking fucking man in the head.
That's fair. But for example, for another fight, I saw it differently. Like it was Xiang.
Who?
The Xiang fight.
Okay.
Against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I can't say her name. That's why
Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Jędrzejczyk. But this fight, man, I saw it for Joanna because I think Joanna was more even. She looked like Elephant Man, whatever, but she was pushing. She was pushing and landing more, and I mean it's not fair because Jiang's face is not made the same way biologically, so she got like less markings.
Right. Oh, I'm with you on that. I think that the judges allowed visual to sway their decision in the end because Joanna landed more, she landed better, and she landed at a better percentage. Like everything about Joanna's striking was better than Weili Zhang that fight. But her head, like you said, her head was out like this. So
Weili was getting tired. The fourth, fifth round, she was gassed, and I think Joanna was in shape.
Dude, and the thing is too, when it's a tight fight like that, when it's down to the wire, how you finish that fifth round really sways the judges. So when Joanna hit that spinning back fist and busted Weili's eye open in the last 2 seconds of the fight, I was like, she just won the fight. They're absolutely going to give it to Joanna. She just stole the fifth round by busting Weili's eye with that spinning back fist in the closing seconds, and it's still
kind of rocking her. I remember. I don't know because it's been a while. I haven't watched the fight, but in my mind, she was rocked.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a great fight. That I would love to see that one again. I wonder if Joanna is like ready to come back. I haven't heard anything about her.
I think she is. I mean, on Instagram, she's pretty like. I mean, she's doing a lot of shit. Like, it seems like she's making a lot of business with she's sponsored by some big brands and stuff. So she must make a nice bunch of money. But I think she's ready to come back. She put some message on Instagram like sounding like she wants to come back. But you never know because, like as I told you last time, it looked like Shawn Mendes was training for fighting, but it might be just for sparring like that.
Yeah. I saw the same things you saw, and he looks great. He looks like he's in great shape, and he was
Man.
when he was kicking, he was hitting pads, and his kicks looked like they would destroy somebody. And apparently, he's not fighting. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a beast. Like, he spent his life in the wild hunting and doing shit like that.
Yeah, I would love to get him on Mission Accomplished. I sent him a message. Chad Mendez. Maybe I should talk to Keith Richardson. I had him on the other night. They used to train together. See if I could sway Keith. I want to talk to Chad Mendez about the biggest animal he's ever hunted down and killed.
Okay, when we're on Chad, maybe we can have a word on Connor.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I needed time to digest. I love Dustin. You know, he's my cousin. He's my French Louisiana cousin. You know, his name is French.
yeah, Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask you before I let you go. It's Friday night over there. You got shit to do, and I got some things to do myself in the middle of the day over here. What in the fuck is this, Frank Muir? Why? That's all. I want to know what you think on this. Like, the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight is ridiculous enough. Frank Muir signs a bare knuckle contract to go fight bare knuckle, and then boom, all of a sudden he's on the Triller card with Jake Paul and Askren. I don't know, man. They must be paying some decent money, huh?
I don't want to mention these guys' names because it's giving them credit. You know, I don't like. I hate them too much. Talking about Frank Mir every day. I love this dude, and it's really interesting to see him come back in boxing because I'm doing a little process of rewatching all the UFC since UFC 1, and now I'm at UFC 141. I think it's just one when Frank Mir knocks out Nogueira.
Yeah,
man, this dude had some great hands for in the end. Like, whoa!
So
Frank, huge work. That would be really great if you could interview him. By the way.
Oh man, if Frank Mir was able to pull off a win against Antonio Tarver, that would be legit as hell as far as boxing goes. And like you said, with that power in his hands, you remember Todd Duffy?
Yeah.
Dude, and when Todd Duffy was coming up, and like he was the next, like he was like a hot prospect, big, murking people left and right. They put him against Frank Mir, and I'm like, oh man, they're feeding Frank Mir to this young killer. Frank Mir folded that dude in half with a right hand, with a punch that just demolished him. I remember the way he hit him, and the kid's body like folding over and hitting the floor. I'm like, God damn, Frank Mir's strong. He's got a ton of power.
He's extremely smart as well.
Yeah.
He's a big brainer. He's you can hear it when you and I would like to see him come back into UFC for doing commentary because I think a lot of people liked him.
No, he was great. When he was WEC calling fights, he was outstanding. He's really, like you said, he's a big brain in the sport. He's a jiu-jitsu freaking, I don't know, he like
Submitting Nogueira.
Yeah, he's a jiu-jitsu whiz. So like,
fucking Nogueira. What do you want more than that?
Yeah.
The only guy who finished twice Nogueira. Like, I mean, the first guy to do it at least when he was still good.
I threw this Triller thing up on the screen because Triller was able to pull Frank Mir in for this Antonio Tarver card. And the same time I see that they outbid like Golden Boy and all these other companies for the Teofimo Lopez fight. So this Triller, which I thought was like a joke, they beat outbid Top Rank for Teofimo Lopez. I thought Triller was like a joke with the whole Jake Paul and Tyson at 53 years old, but then they do something like this, and I'm like, oh wow, they're trying to become a legit boxing promotion.
The Paul fight was an absolute shame.
Right.
I wouldn't go under that, and I think a lot of people, me included, consider that. I'm not a huge boxing fan, but I want to see Tyson once in my life, you know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't disappointed of Tyson's shape. Whatever it takes, PED, I don't care, you know. But he looks great, Tyson himself. But the other fight, what the fuck was that? Like the basket guy that throw punch like that? Like what the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like after you watch that event, they had a bunch of like rappers coming out. It was more like it was more of a show than like anything else. They had they had a concert going on the whole time. They had girls dancing. They had Snoop Dogg on the fucking commentary. They had it was just like I was when I watched it, I was like, oh, this whatever Triller is, I don't know what this company is. They must be like a sideshow company. Like they're gonna be doing shit like this. Every time you see a Triller card, it's gonna be some wild, weird shit. And they continued with the Ben Askren fight and now the Frank Mir fight. But then they outbid Top Rank for Teofimo Lopez. So whoever Triller is, man, I would keep an eye out for them. And I know you're not into boxing, but I do have to say this before we go. Did anybody know Canelo Alvarez was fighting this weekend? The number one boxer in the world is fighting tomorrow. This is a fucking example of how fucked up boxing is right now. Their promotion sucks. They don't advertise anything. Nobody knows that the best boxer in the world on the rankings is fighting tomorrow against this guy, Yieldrum. I watched him fight against a guy named Anthony. The hell was his fucking name? The guy. This dude's big. He's big. He's strong. He hits hard, and he could take a punch like a mofo.
I think it's not the guy I saw that they said it's like, for example, Stipe will fight Taito Ivasa for the title. They didn't say it was like the same kind of comparison. Apparently, this Yieldrum guy is like way lower ranked.
Yeah. As far as like rankings goes, like this guy really shouldn't be fighting somebody like Canelo. But Canelo, I don't know. I would have to look up their sizes and reach and all this stuff. But this guy looks like a monster. Like as far as Canelo's size and stature goes, but Canelo hits harder than anybody and he knocks everybody out. And this guy, I watched him fight. What the hell was the dude's name? Hold on. I'm going to pull it up real quick because I'm doing him a disjustice. Anthony Durrell. Anthony Durrell and him went to war. And it was a weird, listen to this. They clashed heads like 2-3 times during the fight. Boom, boom, boom. And in the 10th round, after the 10th round, a headbutt opened up Durrell's eye to the point where they could see muscle in his face. So they called the fight. So this dude, Yieldrum, is up on the ring ropes, like celebrating, like he just won the super middleweight title. It was vacant. They say no. You guys fought enough rounds that they can go to a technical decision. Kind of like in a baseball game. If you play 7 innings of a 9-inning game, they can call it a full game.
I like that.
Yeah. So it was a 12-round fight. They completed 10. So they say, no, you didn't win shit. Yeah. Get down from the ropes and wait a minute. So then they compile the judges' scores.
That's not.
Yeah, they compile the judges' scores, and this dude Yieldrum lost to Durrell. He won the title. It was an absolute war. I don't know all that much about him other than the one time I've seen this guy fight. I just wanted to bring that up because Canelo Alvarez is the biggest name in boxing, and like nobody really knew he was even fighting. It's just fucking crazy.
Okay, we have to talk just 1 second about him, but for the Askren Paul fight. Who do you got?
Dude, I hate to say this because I love my MMA fighters, but Ben Askren is not much of a boxer, and his striking is absolutely terrible. And Jake Paul, as much as he's a douche as he is, he has a ton of money and a ton of time, and all he does is spend his time either in the gym training to become a boxer or trolling people on the internet. And whether you like it or not, if you watched his 2 fights as a pro, yes, they were against joke people. He fought a YouTuber one time and an NBA basketball player another time. He moves like a boxer. He throws. I don't know, man. He knocked out Yes, he knocked out an NBA basketball player, but he knocked him out stepping back, falling away, caught him, and laid him down. So he's got some power.
Got some basic technique, and
he's got basic, like you said, he looks like a boxer. Ben Askren doesn't. So
yeah,
I hate to say this, I think Ben Askren loses that fight.
Why does Ben Askren have to put himself in such situations? Like, why do you do that, Ben? If you hear us, answer. Why do you troll everyone?
It's got to be money, dude. It's got to be money, because there were other options for Jake Paul. I don't know. He had a list of people, and I don't know what Jake Paul was thinking calling out Conor McGregor. That's a fucking pipe dream. That kid will never fight that guy. I don't know. I don't know what that was all about. Ben Askren, yeah, that's more likely. Yeah, you asked me, I hate to say it. I think Ben goes to 0-1 as a professional boxer, and Jake Paul goes to 3-0.
Do you think he gets knocked out?
Yeah, probably.
Oh my god! I agree.
Yeah, it's terrible. It is. It's terrible, but I think so, man. And I don't know if Jake Paul wants to keep going these fucking routes of fighting non-fighters. He should fight like 50 Cent.
Oh yeah. Fight 50.
Yeah, Jake Paul should fight someone like that, not Ben Askren. Fight him. You know what I mean? Fight Michael Jai White. How about Michael Jai White, the guy that played Spawn? Fight him.
This is it. Fight Tiger Woods.
Yeah, fight someone that's a great athlete. I mean, yes, Ben Askren was like an Olympic level wrestler, but that doesn't mean he can put boxing gloves on and throw. So I don't know, man. I hate the current state of boxing. I was a boxing fan for years. MMA came around. I'm a diehard MMA fan. Obviously, I have shows and stuff that cover it, and now I'm in love with bare knuckle. I don't know if you're into it. You got to get into it, Leo.
I like it. I look when it's the fighters are coming from MMA. That I know.
Yeah,
like Chris Lieben. I looked because
Dude, how cool was it that Lieben came on here?
It's amazing.
What a fucking cool guy!
What a legend.
And you know what was cool about that? It was like I was supposed to have him on the night before. I don't know, his training went late and he missed the time or whatever. And he texted me like an hour after the show. So me and Mike just went freestyle with it. We did a show anyway. I was like, fuck it, we'll just do a show. He texted me. He's like, bro, I completely forgot. Training ran late. You still want to do the show? And I said, not tonight, but anytime you want to do the show, anytime. So he gives me his phone number and he says, text me. It's way easier to get a hold of me through text. So I text him and I think nothing of it. I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever hear back from him or not. The guy's got a lot going on. He's Chris Lieben. The very next day, he texted me. He was like, can you do an interview in 45 minutes? I was at work. I told my coworker, I was like, hey, I got to bounce out of here for an hour. I ran home, changed my shirt. I had my uniform on from the waist down. I just changed my shirt till I look like this and did the show with them for about an hour, threw my uniform on and went back to work. It worked out great.
Man, that's some legendary shit.
Yeah.
Man, awesome. Another guy that would be nice to interview is Ed Herman. And
Ed Herman, yeah.
Because his last fight got a bit of shadow on him. A lot of people were a bit angry at him, and I think that wasn't really fair. And I think maybe a bit of justice needs to be made to Ed, because he's a great fighter. He's a legendary guy as well.
Right.
One of those OGs of the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, and I like trying to get those guys on.
That's brilliant, man. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And having the chance to because you went there. That's fucking amazing. Seeing that.
Yeah. So me and Mike will be going back to another event in April probably. And we're gonna keep plugging away, dude. This show is gonna keep getting better. I'll keep doing these like random one-offs like this because with guys like you, man, I'll shoot the shit with you anytime, no matter what country you're in. We'll figure it out.
No worries, man. I'm a late sleeper anyway. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, dude, thanks for coming on. And anytime you want to do this again, I usually have Fridays off, so if we want to, Fridays with Leo.
All right, brother. All right. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, maybe you know what? Maybe we'll catch up. Maybe the week after UFC 259, we'll do something again.
Absolutely. It's a bit more complicated at the moment, but we'll contact us.
All right, bro. Well, shout out anybody you want to shout out. Say whatever you got to say, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
Shout out to everybody. Say, kiss to everyone, to the real fans. You know who I mean. The real fans of MMA. I'm not saying any name. That everyone is concerned. Now I love you all, guys, and it's great to do something with you, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. All right, bro. You have a good Friday night. You got plans with your girl? You said you going out?
Yeah. All right. No, just chilling.
All right. All right, man. You enjoy yourself. You have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Enjoy the UFC tomorrow.
All right. Later. That was my boy Leo from Austria. Last time I talked to him, he was in like Dublin, Ireland. Fucking awesome dude, man. I love talking to that guy. He's cool as shit. And I'll catch back up with Leo again. Like I said, man, I'm all about getting on here and talking combat sports. So tune into UFC Fight Night tomorrow night. Cyril Gane versus Jardino Rozenstruik. That should be a banger in the main event, and the card's really good too. So that's something to watch over the weekend. Canelo Alvarez is fighting tomorrow night. For anybody who didn't know that, it's unbelievable. He's fighting tomorrow night. And then next Wednesday, I have Leonard Garcia. I have Jay Fish. And I also have Melvin Guillot. All coming on the show next Wednesday. 3 guys, all in BKFC. Leonard Garcia is fighting March 16th against Joe Elmore. Jay Fish is on that card. And I don't know if Melvin Guillot is too, but I know he's got a fight coming up soon. So I'm going to chop it up with those guys Wednesday night. You make sure you pay attention. And I think we're going to have a Thursday night Mike and Mish show once again. So with that said, you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Peace out.